Hey there, knife community. I appreciate you stopping by and checking out this video. This would be a short one and an unboxing within that. I hadn't made one in a few weeks and thought it'd be fun to do that. So, just a long story short, I've been watching a bunch of the Barlow videos on YouTube, and I've never had a Barlow knife except long time ago. My very first knife my dad ever gave me, it was an old cheap Barlow, had a Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale's face engraved in it, 1976 campaign knife, and then it had Barlow stamped, on the bolster. But and I wound up cutting myself with that knife. Actually, I was cutting on a dogwood twig just to see, like a 4 or 5 year old boy, whatever I was then, what it would do, and cut myself a little bit. Anyway, never had another Barlow after that until now. So I've been wanting one, and so I asked for one for my birthday, which was in December, and I took my son out there. He's 10 years old, and my mother's like, "Okay, get your daddy a knife. Just make sure it says Case." Well, we went to Ace Hardware. They didn't have any Barlows, but he got me this really pretty antique smooth bone Stockman pattern. You see there. And this knife was made in 2022, and in December 2025 it was still at the Ace Hardware store. It's a good knife. I've been working with it. It's sharp. But, I've watched enough of these videos now, like, well, if you see something been sitting in the hardware store that long, there's a reason nobody picked it up. Well, some people are bothered by gappage. And I will say this one's got some pretty serious gaps, which you can see if I was to do that flashlight thing, But it does not matter to me. One, it's the sentimental part of it I really value. And two, it is a very pretty knife. It came fairly sharp. It opens and closes well. And I've been carrying it. I've been cutting dirt with it for work, looking at soil plugs. I've cut apples with it. It's a good knife, man. And I didn't realize this antique smooth bone is actually kind of a more expensive model of the Stockman. Speaking of, what is the number Stockman on this one? This is I think it'll be on the sheep's foot blade here. Woo! Well, that sun's coming right through there. All right. This will be a 6.318 USA stainless steel, 6 for a bone handle, and 3 for 3 blades, and 18 is the pattern number. 18 pattern Stockman antique smooth bone. Good knife. But anyway, we're here to talk about Barlows. So, since they didn't have any Barlows in stock at the store there that day we went to Ace Hardware, I went online and ordered one. This one came off of eBay. I think that I paid about $52 to $54 for it. This is carbon, what is that, 3.5 inch red stag, Bear & Son cutlery. And I've already opened this one, so this is not an unboxing. This is just show you what comes in the box. Of course, Bear & Son puts their knives and maybe knives they make under other brands in these nice little tote bags here. And man, when I first pulled this thing out, I was like, good gracious, that is a beautiful red handle. And it says red stag, so I guess this is actually stag. Look at that though. See the sun hitting it. I got every fingerprint on it apparently from every one of my fingers. The shield there says carbon 4th generation. Now, beautiful knife, right? I think we can all agree with that. Bear & Son did a great job with this, and man, when I got it, it was all polished up. It was shiny. Well, go to the pin blade. Fair enough. Carbon steel, USA. I've put a little bit of an edge on it. When I first got it, I mean, it literally would not cut warm butter, and it still won't. I sharpened on this thing a little bit yesterday, but I don't know. My heart wasn't in it, and I sure didn't get it sharp. But that wasn't a big issue. You heard that. That was a pretty good walk and talk on that pin blade, right? Now, let's go to the clip blade here. So I open that with a little bit of effort. There's your Bear & Son shield. Carbon steel, USA. Now I have got this blade decently sharp. I put it on the stone and the leather strop. It could use a little bit more, but you know, it'll get there. My complaint with this knife was actually when I first got it, this clip blade, I broke 2 fingernails on it. You can see that it's starting to grow back a little bit. But it was so stiff. And I took it to work, and everybody was like, my goodness, that is a terribly uncomfortable knife to open. And so I was a little bummed about it, but I sat around, I had some office work to do, so I just sat around opening and closing it, and finally got it to working pretty decent. It's still kind of a tight pull. I'm going to say probably about a 8 or 9 out of 10, because it really gets hung. It's right here, this first part, and then after that, you're good to go. Anyway, very attractive knife. I wish it had come in a little sharper than it did, but you know, that can be worked on. Which brings me to my unboxing. So I still wanted a case. I'm a case guy, and I know Bear & Son made down in Jacksonville, Alabama. Good American-made company, but I love case knives. So I ordered me one. You see here, Crimson Bone Peach Seed Jig Barlow, made 7/29/2025. Now I've never seen this knife. It's never been opened before, so let's see what we got here. You see that? That's still that good wrap, and I don't know how whoever does that at the case factory, boy, they know what they're doing, because that's a good wrap on it. So it also tells me no one's ever looked at this one to check it out and reject it either, have they? I think this one right here is not been opened ever since it was at the factory. Boy, look at that. Is that pretty? This is the first time I'm ever seeing it, and I'm looking at it through the phone. Let's see how they compare size-wise. Looks like the Bear & Son may be just a touch longer. Bear & Son is right at 3.5 inches. Yeah, see, right at 3.5 inches. The case is a little shorter, and I mean just ever so slightly shorter. Let's look at it this way. Match up the butt end. Yeah, ever so slightly shorter. What did I say that was? Crimson Bone Peach Seed Jig. Very pretty. Let's see what we got for the a nice polish there. I'll tell you what, that clip blade, oh yeah. Ain't got a great edge on it, but it's far superior to what the Bear & Son came in. There you go. 2025 5-dot knife. Look at that. Now this high polish on here is definitely going to be a fingerprint magnet, right? And you turn it around here. Let's see what this pin blade is like. Oh yeah, they put a little sharpening on that pin blade. So we got USA 6 for jig bone and 2 for 2 blades, and I guess let's see, 0. I can't read that pattern number, but anyway, that's a pretty knife, isn't it? Let's compare the length of this pin blade, the clip blades on these two. I believe they're pretty similar, although it does look like the Case has got a little bit of a beefier blade if you look at them side by side there. And then, how many springs we got in these? You got looks like stainless steel lined and 2 springs. Oh yeah, and this is brass liner with 2 springs. Very pretty knife. And quite honestly, you can't go wrong with either one when it comes down to just looking at them. They're just good looking. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that little comparison. Give you an idea of the difference between a Case Barlow and a Baron Son Barlow. Both beautiful knives. The Baron Son just had some issues with the pull on the clip blade. Came in very dull. And then the Case came in with great walk and talk and sharp enough to be useful right out of the box. Anyway, enjoy everybody and try to stay warm out there. Maybe we'll get out of this Arctic vortex soon enough.